Good morning.
So good morning, one and all present here, and a warm welcome on the auspicious day of Mother's Day. First of all, I would like to admire and congratulate all the mothers here
Thank you.
for their hard work and dedication towards the society, family, as well as towards the academicians. Secondly, I would also like to welcome all the dignitaries on the virtual dais. This national conference is being organized in association with Canara Bank. Canara Bank was the sponsoring partner for this event. Today's national conference is on emerging trends in banking industry. The reason behind doing this national conference is to know and to understand the new trends and horizons after COVID pandemic, as well as lesson to be learned in COVID time, because banking sector was such a sector which has never been changed before pandemic, but it repents to change, and the change was must. As we all know, the public sector banks, how they function, but the time came where these banks need to be changed, need to be addressed in that way. So with this course in mind, we decided to have a national conference on emerging trends in banking industry. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Sheeta Lakshmi, ma'am, Professor of SIS College, for sparing her busy time on Sunday morning and attending and giving a speech in this national conference.
Thank you.
I request Rohit Pitre, the conference convener, to kindly brief about Madam first, and then we can start.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Welcome, ma'am, in today's conference. I would like to introduce all the participants about the today's keynote speaker, Dr. Sita Lakshmi N. She is PhD in Commerce from SNAT University, Mumbai, and she has completed her education from Calicut University, where she completed her bachelor's and master's. She published some research papers such as research as a tool for promoting excellence in universities, and she worked as associate professor in the Department of Commerce, SIS, College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, and she has published several research papers. She has vast experience in teaching industry, whole 26 to 30 years experience in teaching industry. She has been awarded as a teacher par excellence award from International Institute of Hotel Management, Pune, as part of Teachers Day celebrations. So I again welcome Dr. Sita Lakshmi ma'am, and I kindly request her to start her keynote speech and enlighten us with her knowledgeable words. And please start your lecture.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. Yeah, I think the screen is visible to everyone. Is the screen visible? Financial inclusion? Screen is visible? Can anyone unmute and tell me?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay, financial inclusion. Okay, yeah. So today my topic, good morning to one and all present over here. Today my topic being financial inclusion. during this part of pandemic. Then also financial inclusion continued by Government of India, central government as well as the respective state governments. So what has they have all done towards financial inclusion, whether we could have an appreciable increase in financial inclusion, we are supposed to find out today morning. So welcome to all of you just to listen to my words. These are all not words of wisdom. NABARD has conducted a survey to finalize with what are the other financial inclusion methods which we can have so that all India can become 100% financially included states, and it can become as the largest democracy under the sun. It can just multiply its resources in such a way that all are financially covered under different categories, under either as banker or as a pensioner or as right from postal services to all services, including investments, banking, or insurance. Anyway, we are supposed to cover everybody under the financial services. That was the aim which was there from 2005 onwards. Till today, they couldn't complete their dream as such, but still they are struggling to just complete this particular concept of financial inclusion. So let us try and analyze what all things have done towards financial inclusion, right? So I will be stopping my video for some time, otherwise it can affect the bandwidth as such. So what is financial inclusion? The second slide talks about financial inclusion. What is financial inclusion? Universal access to wide range of financial services at a reasonable cost is always considered as financial inclusion. So you have to cover the entire population in the sense that the whole nation should be covered either in any right manner, including all the multiple parameters like banking, investment, insurance, postal, or as pension sector. In right, always all these sectors are covered under the term financial services, which is the exhaustive definition which is given by RBI for financial inclusion. And they have even calculated in 2021, RBI has announced and calculated the financial inclusion index, which is known as FinIndex, FI index. So according to that financial index, right, it is ending March 2021, right, only 53.9% covered under the term financial inclusion. And 80% of, and out of that 53, 80% Indian adults having bank account. 77% Indian women have bank account. That means rest 20% of Indian adults do not have bank account. And out of that, women is always having 77% bank account. The rest, they do not have any access to finance as such. So therefore, there was an analysis which is done by Reserve Bank of India just to find out the global Findex 2014 in order to understand where we stand in front of the whole world as such. So in that, it is just discovered that 52.8% of adult population in India has access to bank accounts, and it varies from state to state, and within the state also from region to region it differs. And 100% financial inclusion is done in union territories of Chandigarh, Puducherry, that means now Pondicherry, Lakshadweep, Goa, as well as Kerala. Kerala is having only very few exceptional cases, like states like Idukki, Malappuram, etc., having all the financially backward, maximum communities financial backward. Therefore, they do not have any access to any type of financial inclusion. But Kerala government has taken initiative especially to cover everyone, so that by this end of this particular 2022, beginning of 2023, they can even include themselves under 100% financial inclusion. So during this pandemic, they have just instituted pension for each and every person above the age group of 60. So whether you have worked for government or any private organization, doesn't matter. You are eligible to get a prescribed sum as pension. So that pension coverage happens through postal services. And that always included under the term financial inclusion under the new definition which is given by Reserve Bank of India. So today I have to make an analysis of Kerala just to understand what all measures can be taken in order to cover ourselves towards financial inclusion by every state government, so that India can become one of the world's now second highest unbanked population, majority among women for us, And we have to make ourselves at the world's highest banked population covered area, and being majority women will have bank account, which is not right now present as such. So even Axis Bank has taken measures to cover only women communities, especially in backward areas in Mumbai. Across Maharashtra also they are planning to do it, so that even Maharashtra can complete the financial inclusion to a greater extent, where the percentage can be brought from 52 to maybe 75 to 76%. Ultimately, that is the aim which is given by Maharashtra government as such. So, so digital financial inclusion is the latest concept which is accepted by Reserve Bank of India through different banks, and Axis Bank has taken initiative in this venture of digital financial inclusion, especially for covering the women as such. So accordingly, when we do the analysis of Kerala, we are having some access point related indicators and all the institutions which are covered. Kerala government, I have already told you, Mammoth Social Transfer Program, mainly in the form of welfare pension. They call it as welfare pension, in which they have covered 35 million pensioners in total. During this pandemic, they have multiplied that particular mechanism so that nobody is having hunger, such, especially in those areas where socially and economically backward as such. So financial inclusion in Kerala, we have classified into access points by institution type. Accordingly, there are 6,721 bank branches selected as on 2016. And in that, public sector banks accounts for 54% and private sector banks only 31%. And in this, even the rural bank accounts comes under 9% of all bank branches, with cooperative banks have a share close to 6% as such. And these are the access points which is made available to the general public so that they can be covered under the term financial inclusion with the help of financial institutions as such. Then another classification which is done is on the basis of commercial banks in Kerala. As far as banking business goes, both deposit and credit, the public sector banks account for about 2/3, and the share of credit is 63% compared to deposits of 60%. So always that credit is given on a higher scale so that people can be covered under financial inclusion through way of offering them some loans and advances. Private sector banks, on the other hand, has higher share, 36% in deposits, whereas credit which is given is only 32%. So public sector banks always covered maximum credit, distribution of loans or advances, overdraft, etc. to the general public. And this has created one of the wonders in Kerala as far as public sector banks are concerned, where public sector banks in cities like Mumbai, their performance is much lesser than the private sector banks as such. And even they have even calculated even the share percentage of different types of banks in credit and deposits. Right, credit amount 63%, we have already mentioned, whereas for private sector banks, it is only 60% as such. Then district-wide share in credit accounts and banks and MFI is also playing an important role as far as financial inclusion is concerned. Microfinance movement in Kerala has attracted wide attention globally because of the one typical clause which they are having for alleviation of rural poverty in the form of Kudumbashree. Kudumbashree project is something which they starts from the scratch with the help of each and every local self-government. They'll be forming groups under the headship of women. Only ladies will be heading it, and they will be giving guidelines to the group members as far as the thrift is concerned, as far as the savings is concerned, how to open bank account, and they are having Gram Sabhas. Gram Sabha indicate different formats. Even for young children, Gram Sabhas are made available under one Kudumbashree unit. And for women, they wanted to just improve their status of the standard of living by participating in various programs, including even their own startup companies as such. So this is one of the important innovation which is done by Kerala people in the form of SHG which is assisted, right? Kudumbashree is assisted with self-help groups. These self-help groups are known as Kudumbashree. Once they grow themselves, they can participate in helping others. Then their role will be becoming a self-help group as such. So anyway, all these, right, just improve the status of right, many states, right, including all the cities also, like Trivandrum, Ernakulam, Trichur, Palakkad, Kozhikode, Malappuram, Kollam, Alappuzha, Kottayam. They were having a commendable response as far as, and NABARD has conducted a survey on this and how they have formed SHGs, how they are having linkage with SHG. Same format, the Kudumbashree is having linkage with respect to local self-government, which is always connected to the different types of banks, including cooperative banks as such. So the NABARD has published, right, certain data regarding this particular group of people who are working in the form of SHG, which is known as Kudumbashree with respect to Kerala is concerned. So there are around MFIs happening in Kerala, right, around 350 branches. And then always this is associated with nowadays some microfinance institutions also. For example, there are some private organizations like Muthoot Finance, and right, finance companies based on Chennai, and finance companies based on subsidiaries of this Muthoot Finance in different states as such. They all formed in such a way that all the branch operations in certain pockets of the states will be controlled by them. The idea is just to cover every heads of the family into this financial inclusion as such, so that they are availing some amount of financial services either through post office or through banks or through with respect to some of the MFIs as such. So Muthoot Finance, Bharat Financials, then Ashirwad Finance, L&T Finance, Spandana Finance, Ujjivan, Gram Vidyal, Share Finance, Madura, Impact, all these are some of the names which we can see in Kerala across the cities and across the states. They are across the regions, they are working and connecting the states into under one umbrella of the term financial inclusion as such. And all these are always having some headship with respect to certain banks. Even Canara Bank plays an important role in Kerala in helping them in a mutual fund, microfinancial institutions for helping the each and every region to cover themselves into network of all the institutions together, so that they all can achieve what you call financial inclusion respectively. So even you can see that even the deposits are multiplied with the help of public sector banks as well as private sector banks, which was, and regional rural banks are also taken into consideration, connecting this particular program of Kudumbashree with respect to financial inclusion. And the lowest public sector presence is there in some of the districts, whereas in some of the district maximum presence is for private sector banks as such. So everything is appreciated or highlighted by Kerala government. The reason being, they wanted to have maximum people covering under the financial services as such. So one could work out the coverage ratios of all types of access points by relating the absolute number of such points to the population size to see the extent of demographic coverage of financial and banking institutions. And always they have refined the adult population, and they have made it mandatory to see that some innovative solutions are given to each and every household, so that they can have approachability, or the banks can outreach each and every region concerned. So one such instance which is given with innovative solution is from Palakkad. It is a city which is having the largest district in Kerala, where you are getting 2 access points every 5 square kilometer. That means one bank or some facilities will be given within that 5 square feet parameters as such, so that you will be covering almost everyone within the network of either business correspondents, or with respect to SHG or Kudumbashree, or with respect to this MFIs as such. So some connectivity with respect to finances are made available to this particular district assets, so that each and every one will be having some coverage with respect to finance assets. So everybody has to be connected with respect to financial services. It can be any way. It can be through postal services, it can be through banks, or it can be through MFI, or it can be through any modus operandi which is happening within that particular district asset. So across the district, they wanted to cover maximum population with financial services. And where Malappuram is having the lowest ratio as such, which is calculated. Therefore, if they come up with some innovative solution for this particular area also, then it will be financially covered, or financial inclusion will become complete in Kerala as such. So as a part of this particular mechanism, even Government of India has started with respect to PMGDSA. This is a program which is given by Government of India, which always indicated Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. Financial literacy is one of the fundamental thing which has to happen with respect to financial inclusion. Now, most of the cases, even cities are having people, those who are graduate, postgraduate, they don't have any idea with respect to financial services or investment assets. So financial literacy is lagging behind with respect to majority of Indians possible. Therefore, it has created one of the important aspect under Kudumbashree. Kudumbashree will be having workshops as well as seminars in financial literacy every week. And that week will be attributed in such a way that 1 week it will be for senior citizens, because their schemes are different and their method of financial services offered is also different. Their interest rate is very high, and their investment pattern will differ whenever they come to that category of senior citizen. And if one workshop is conducted on behalf of senior citizen, and one chartered accountant will be available at call for just to solve all the problems related to senior citizens, and this facility is also offered along with that particular, all the facilities offered under financial services by this particular project, which is known as Kudumbashree project as such. So according to Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan, government want to emphasize on digital financial inclusion through digitalization, and how to have the payment mechanism, different types of mechanism, accepted UPI platforms which is accepted, and how to make it available. And during this pandemic, our college has taken as a project for just to familiarize with different types of apps, financial apps which is available, and make them available, right? All the senior citizens having workshops, right, individually representing themselves from this particular institution as part of project. They have made house visits and solved some of the problems of when online shopping has become mandatory. Even so, students helped in various colleges. It was taken as a project. Since I know about my college, I was just giving and mentioning it as an example. People used to have house-to-house visit just to inform the senior citizens regarding how to go for online shopping, how to avoid various types of scams and frauds which can happen during these online transactions as such. So majority got the benefit to understand different types of apps which is made available like Google Pay, Phone Pay, and they started using it with precautions which is offered to them by these children, youngsters, who could just train them in almost all the apps possible. So apps, how to download also senior citizens may not be knowing. So training from that part onwards, which was done as part of the program or project by different institutions. And if we start doing like this, youngsters can do a lot with respect to even financial inclusion. Under digital financial inclusion, if you are covering, right, one individual who doesn't have any other access than only one bank account is there, he can just start doing with respect to digitization of all the services possible. So with that, rather than reaching the bank, and that is very difficult for commutation also, they can concentrate on digitization. They can learn so many things, how to open a bank account, how to have access with respect to bank account, how to withdraw, and all these stuff. If we are teaching them, giving some training, along with the precautions against any frauds which can happen, definitely we can complete our digital financial inclusion with the help of youngsters as such. And I have already told you, Axis Bank is one of the pioneering bank which has started with respect to digitization, and they started using their financial inclusion through business correspondence, giving education to women, female population, who doesn't having a fear to this with respect to the financial matters. Even husband will be giving some money to wife will be spending it without knowing the importance of each and every transaction which she is committing on that particular day. So in order to just create awareness regarding financial awareness, regarding the investment and regarding the saving habits which is to be cultivated among the mother and mothers, when Mother's Day, I have given this example, the reason being we are offered with respect to different incentives by this particular bank whenever we are starting with some banking aspects with this particular bank, Axis Bank as such. So this was one of the major steps which was taken by Government of India through PGDISHA, where you are having right Gramin Digital DI is also there, Digital Saksharata Abhiyan, in which they wanted to familiarize with different terms which we are using under finance, under investment, so that people are aware of right what is finance and how to just proceed optimum resources of the availability or the optimum resources, how to maximize the benefit out of it, which was thoroughly taught to female through this particular mission which was started by Government of India and Axis Bank in particular regarding the female population as such. So the major challenges which we are having is right the MFIs which is having paucity of funds. So if funds are provided by any agency, then people can be definitely covered with respect to financial inclusion to a maximum extent as such. And another thing which is some infrastructure problems, especially in rural areas, where connectivity is a major issue. Suppose they have to operate their app, payment app for that matter, connectivity should be steady and the bandwidth should be properly distributed. Reliance have taken through Geo various measures for this particular right, what we call innovative step, and they have been successful to a greater extent also, but it has not covered the completely the entire area as such. Still certain parts are uncovered which has to be completed, so that all that infrastructure problems if you are removing, then India can create wonders with respect to financial inclusion, especially through digital financial inclusion. Some or other we have to cover the entire communities under financial inclusion. So this is one of the best method which we can have, through which we can cover everyone financially connected. And the digital literacy is very important. Every institution can take up it as a project, and they can do wonders in association with through an NGO or with the help of some of the organizations which they can take as their CSR projects, and some of the organizations where they can become partners with respect to how Canara Bank has become partnership with Amlani College. Same way, even they can use these students, the community, for digital literacy, especially women literacy, because that college is only not having co-education, and they all women representative can be used, so that the entire parlay we can see that it is covered under financial inclusion. Slowly, the entire Mumbai can be covered under financial inclusion. There are some pockets where, right, even though it is coming under city limits, it is treated as right, economically uncovered or economically backward, which can restrict themselves towards financial inclusion, which can be removed with the help of these youngsters. And more banks should become partners with all the educational institutions, so they can do wonders with respect to digital financial inclusion, since all these youngsters are having high literacy towards digitization and the payment factors, as well as that downloading of financial apps, how to use it. And even one of my research student is creating a new app in which the app will guide you to have majority of investments possible. So either you should be connecting yourself through banks or through investments also, you can become part of financial inclusion. That is the exhaustive definition which is given by Reserve Bank of India. So even you can connect with people with respect to various types of apps. So he is inventing, he's my research student, he is inventing right down the line, within 6 months they will right convert it into a mechanism in which they'll be getting the patent also. And that app, if you are using, it can guide you where to make investment, how to make investments, and what are the precautions which you are using, you are supposed to be using when you are making a specific type of investment as such. So when you are having demat account, what is the procedure? and how to open a demat account as an ordinary citizen. Majority of the women doesn't realize all this. So making them understand the importance of investments and how to make the most optimum type of investments, all these can be taught with the help of that particular app. Some of the organizations are having their CSR projects under financial inclusions. They can tap these youngsters from various colleges, and they will be working as investigators, and they can complete the project, and they can also realize or understand the demographic variables or different types of areas in which we are working, or different types of backward regions in which we are working, and how we can have solution with respect to the financial backwardness. So it will become within one particular object, you can attain twin or three types of other objectives also possible, so that the mission statement of CSR projects can be completed with the help of these all youngsters as such. So even banks should understand what are the possibilities with respect to educational institutions, and they always have a linkage with the different types of educational institutions, so that even they can create employability skills among the prospective customers, who all are in having education in various educational institutions as such. So this is what I wanted to stress early morning today. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity. Once again, I thank each and every one of the organizer, for giving me an opportunity to represent myself, as a financial inclusion expert, or just to have my views towards financial digital literacy as well as financial inclusion as such. Thank you once again. Over to you, Jitendra. Anyone want to ask any type of questions, can go for it. Hello.
Participants, if you have any queries, doubts, or any questions regarding the lecture, any concept, you can ask here. You can write a message, or you can ask directly by unmuting yourself.
Anyone having any type of clarification regarding financial inclusion, I can answer those queries if I know it. Chat box, any? Yeah.
We will wait for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
For people to write their questions in the chat
yes,
box.
Yes, no problem.
And if there are any question, we will solve it. We will answer it. Otherwise, we will move forward.
Okay. Check the chat box if you are having any questions, please.
I think your lecture was very precise and very easy to understand. That's why there are no doubts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I believe whatever I said, people understood it. Yes, they digested with the same spirit which I wanted to say. Anyway, thank you so much. Yeah.
And ma'am, thank you from our college, Delamani College of Commerce and Economics, and from myself also, from Principal Sir. Thank you very much for attending this conference and guiding us with your knowledgeable words.
Thank you. And, God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so now I would like to invite Professor Sonali Chiklikar to start the next lecture. And she's a corporate trainee, and she's working in Bilamrani College of Commerce and Economics as an assistant professor. And she's also working as financial advisor. And I would like to request her to start her lecture and kindly proceed with the conference. Sonali ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Sir, can you please make
Yes.
me host so I can
Yes,
share
yes.
also? Good morning, everyone. So make me co-host so I can
Yes,
proceed.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are the host now. You can
Okay.
start.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So once again, good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to here today to be a part of this national conference on emerging trends in banking. So considering the time, I'm directly starting my topic, that is e-payment solutions. So this e-payment, this digital technology, we have witnessed this all technology. We have witnessed the importance of all this technology, especially in this pandemic scenario, which we have experienced in last 2 years. Imagine ourselves if we don't have all this technology and we were in that pandemic situation. So it was like a house arrest kind of scenario that time. And in that time, this digital technology helps us a lot. So a person who use all this digital technology is a digital person. So a digital person is a person with the skills and knowledge to effectively use digital technologies to participate in society, communicate with others, and create and consume digital contents. He also used payments for making payments. We made different payment instruments. For example, cash. Cash is a payment instrument. So too are checks. So these are the physical payment instruments. And digital payment instruments are cashless payment instruments. So every instrument other than cash, which is non-cash and which does not rely on paper, that is non-paper for its transaction. So simply in other words, we can say transactions that mainly use electronic medium are considered as digital. Okay. So the Digital India program, it is a flagship programs of government of India with a vision to transform India into a digitally empowered society and a digital economy. So under this program, government targets to promote digital payments and support development of low cost and easy to use digital payment solutions for all sections of the society. So as a part of paperless, cashless and faceless services across the country, especially in rural and remote areas, there are various modes of digital payments are being provided like banking cards, mobile wallets, internet banking, mobile banking, bank prepaid cards, micro ATMs, point of sales machines, that is POS, Aadhaar enabled payment system, that is AEPS, and unstructured supplementary service data, that is USSD. So let me share the screen for that. I will just share the PPT. Sir, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible. It is clearly visible.
Yeah, thank you. So in this digital payment, various digital payment services available for us. From that, one of the most important digital payment services we have, that is Unified Payment Interface, that is UPI. So Unified Payment Interface, it is a system which powers multiple bank accounts into a single mobile application for any participating bank. So merging several banking features, seamless fund routing, and merchant payment into one hood. So it also caters to the peer-to-peer collect request, which can be scheduled and paid as per the requirements and convenience. See, nowadays, if you have any bank account, say in ICICI or HDFC or Kotak Mahindra or SBI, in any bank account, now you, because of Android system, you can have that banking application. And by using that banking application, you can create your own unique UPI ID. And by using that UPI ID, you can make digital payments. Okay, so all banking transactions, you can imagine traditional banking system where suppose I want to collect the money from XYZ, I have to collect the check from that person. Then I have to deposit that check into my bank account. And after clearing from that person's bank account, I will get my payment. This is a traditional banking system. So for all this process, it will take at least 2-3 days. But because of this digital payment solutions or services we have in our fingertips, within a fraction of seconds, we can get the fund transferred to any place around the world. Okay. So how it works? So we need to download the UPI app of our bank. Suppose my bank account is in Kotak Mahindra. So I will download this Kotak Mahindra app from the Google Play Store. Then I need to register my account details, create a virtual ID with the name and with a name or password. So it's a one-time process. No, we don't need to do this process again and again. So after creating this, after downloading this app, we need to add the items. Suppose we are doing how it works for online purchase. So we need to add the purchase. We need to add the items in the cart. Then we need to go to the payment options, and there we can select the payment through UPI. So there we need to just mention our UPI ID. Then again, one pop-up window will come on our phone from the UPI app. So UPI app. So that pop-up window will request us for approval for online purchase. And once securing our PIN code, which we have already entered at the time of registration, a confirmation of successful payment will come to our phone. Okay, so this is a mobile. There are 3 steps: registration, then we can actually do shopping, and the authentication. Means it is not like that using our UPI ID anyone can make payment for anything. Okay, so we need to give approval for that payment. Another app is Paytm. So nowadays people using the different wallets. Some wallets was given the cashback also for different people. Some wallet names are Beam UPI, GPay, Paytm, M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Jio Money, PayPal, and MobiKwik. So these are the most, there are many, there are more than this, but these are the most popular digital payment application. So as far as Paytm is concerned, Paytm means pay through mobile. So in 2014, the company launched Paytm Wallet, which became India's largest mobile payment services platform with over 150 million wallets and 75 million Android-based apps downloaded as of November 2016. So the surge in uses of all these services was largely due to the demonetization of the 500 and 1000 rupees currency note. So basically, this digital payment services got popularity after our Prime Minister announces demonetization of 500 and 1000 rupees. So government taking many initiatives to promote a cashless economy or cashless transactions. So for that sake, we get different discounts, different offers through all these apps like cashback offers and all. So how we can use this Paytm application? First of all, we need to download this Paytm app in our PC or in our mobile. So after that, we can download from Google Store. After downloading that application, we need to register ourselves. And for registering, we need to sign up by you choosing the options. If we have any social media account like Facebook, then we can also directly sign up through Facebook, or else we need to pay, we need to fill this basic details, that is our mobile number, email ID, and our Paytm password. Now this Paytm password can be 4 digits, 6 digits, 8 digits. And by clicking this sign up, we are agreeing to the terms and conditions given by the Paytm app. So once we have registered, we can open our Paytm app. We can log in by using again the email ID or mobile phone number which we have given at the time of registration, and we can enter the password. So after entering the password, we can securely, or we can say successfully, log in to this Paytm app. Now we have a video also, but due to the time constraint, I'm not sharing the video right now. So what services are offered by Paytm? Paytm can be used for mobile recharge, DTH recharge, data card recharge, to book tickets also, to book taxis, to pay for fuel, for payment of any kind of bills like electricity bill, gas bills, phone bills, or buy or pay mobile tickets, or do shopping also. So all these services are offered by Paytm. The another application is Google Pay. So Google Pay, this application helps the user for online payment and a tap to pay purchases on mobile devices, which also allows users to pay on a single tap. So other advantages, there are users can also pay bills, they can shop. There is one basic user here, that is the registered customer. So at the time we need to register ourselves in this app. The procedure is same. So I'm not sharing how to do login and register. It's the same only. This Google Pay app we can use by for our mobile number. So at the time of registration, we need to register our mobile number. We need to link our mobile number with the bank account. From there, the payments will get automatically deducted or added if you are receiving any payment. So at the time of registering, customer is asked to link the bank to simplify online payment. So here customer can send and receive money, and they can also shop online from e-commerce websites and much more for online transaction. So customers also gets here also we get various offers, cashback offers on some special online transactions. So before this Bhim Pay, I would like to mention a few things about Google Pay. As I said, that it is only connected through our mobile. Means in GPay, I'm damn sure most of you are using this Google Pay. So we can directly pay to our mobile numbers. By selecting the mobile number, we can pay or we can receive the payment. As that number or that through that app, the bank account is directly connected. So I will share one safety incident. Like if you're connecting your phone number to this app, what you need to make sure that when you are going to connect to register your mobile number, make sure that you're going to use this mobile number consistently. So it's most of us use postpaid, but many of us use prepaid also. And you know the criteria of this telecom service providers. When you are using prepaid, if you will not recharge for 3 months, the telecom service providers can give that number to any other new customer. So when you are not recharging your prepaid number and you are you have already connected this number, mobile number to GPay app, there are chances that the new user can misuse your mobile number, as your mobile number is not, you have not deregistered. So make sure when you are not using the mobile number in future, but you have connected that number to your GPay account, just deregister that number so that no one can pay you, no one can receive your payments. Okay. So there was one incident happened, like why deregistering that mobile number if you are not using, why it is important. So what happened, one person was using XYZ mobile number. So after a few months, he stopped using that mobile number. But that mobile number was connected to his bank account. So that same number was allotted to a new user by the telecom service provider. And that new customer started using that mobile number. So after recharging that mobile number, he was started getting messages of the previous owner, that bank notifications, like we get balance notification, we get account withdrawal notification or deposit notification. The same way he started getting notifications on his number. So by using that mobile number, he hacked the bank account, because once we click on the forget password, you get the link on your mobile number. So he got the message on the mobile number and he clicked on the link, he changed the password and he withdraw all the money. So this is one of the case of cybercrime sale. So why I have shared here, you have to make sure that when you are not using your mobile number, just make sure that you will deregister that number from all the places. The same way we have this another application, that is Bhim Pay. Bhim Pay app is also, we can download the same way, which I have explained you Paytm, about Paytm and Google Pay. So this Bhim stands for Bharat Interface for Money. So it is a mobile application which is developed by National Payment Corporation of India, that is NCPI, based on the Unified Payment Interface UPI. So like I said in the beginning, we can have a UPI from our bank account, a unique ID from our bank application. The same way we can download this Bhim UPI also. Nowadays, many banks are giving this Bhim Pay app application features also in their bank mobile Android applications. So there also we can use this Bhim Pay app UPI. So it was launched by Narendra Modi on 30th December 2016. It is developed by 28-year-old Nikhil Kumar. So again, this in Bhim Pay application, the procedure is same like I have already explained for the Paytm, and for GPay also, all the services are offered by Bhim Pay are same, which is we have already discussed about Paytm. So by using Bhim Pay app, we will we can generate a unique UPI ID, and that UPI ID again is connected to our bank account. And by using that UPI ID, we can make payment or receive payments. So there are various advantages of digital payments, like it is easy and convenient. It makes payments easy. You don't need to take any load of cash with you, like every time we don't need to rush to the ATM to withdraw the cash. We can just have a mobile phone and the different apps of all these digital payments. So UPI apps and e-wallets have made digital payments easier. Then with digital payment modes, we can pay from anywhere, anytime. We all have faced, like I have already mentioned, that we have faced this quarantine kind of scenario first time in our life. So it was like a house arrest for everyone. And in that phase, there will be at least one time in our life, we must have blessed to the technology that we have for digital payment, for everything. I will say not only for digital payment. Through this digital technology, we have now also we are connected because of technology only. We have conducted various seminars, we have attended various conferences. We have even our school colleges are also continued because of this technology. Then government also announced many discounts to encourage digital payments. So we always feel we should watch out our spending, especially cash spending. But we often forgot to note down our cash spending. So, or even if we note, it takes a lot of time. So with this, all this digital payment, we don't need to note our spending every time with this digital payments. These are automatically recorded in our passbook or inside our e-wallet applications. So this ultimately helps us to maintain records, track our spendings and budget planning. But as we say, the coin has two sides. There are advantages, there are drawbacks also. So despite many advantages, there are some drawbacks also, but then also I will say that advantages are more than drawbacks if we will have if we will use wisely or consciously all these applications, they are safe. So first drawback is it is difficult for non-technical person. Most of the digital payments modes are based on mobile phones, the internet cards. So these modes are somewhat difficult for non-technical person, such as farmers or workers. Then there is a big risk of data theft associated with these digital payments. Hackers can hack the servers of the banks or the e-wallets which we are using, and easily they can get our personal information. And after getting this information, they can use this information to steal our money from our account. As I have shared one incident, like how that person got notification, and as the number was not deregistered by the previous user, he faced a big loss. Then as far as cash transactions are considered, we can limit our cash transaction, means we can limit our withdrawals in physical wallets. But it may be possible that through digital payments, you will shop more. So overspending can be there. But if you we will use the digital payment modes, we will have all money with always. So that ultimately that can result in overspending. So we have to budget there also. Then this I have deliberately included do's and don'ts for digital payments for security reason. See, technology is a blessing that we have all witnessed. But the same way, if we will not use it cautiously, then we can suffer a huge loss. So make sure whenever you are using any kind of website, you are using a correct website. For instance, like a few years back, there was a big scam happened. There was a clone website created by hackers for SBI Bank, that is State Bank of India. So that clone through that clone website, many transactions or many users of were looted by that by those hackers. So whenever you are using any kind of website, make sure that you are using the correct and authenticate website. Choose your password that will not be easily decoded. You must have heard in digital literacy programs, various digital literacy programs you must have attended. In that digital literacy programs, you must have heard that you should choose your password in an alphanumeric and sign format. Like we should use the signs like $, hashtag, @ or a star sign, underscore, or your password should be in a combination with alphanumers. There should be alphabets, there should be numbers. And make sure that you will not use your date of birth in your password. So it is very easy for hackers to decode. If you have just if you have only numerical passwords, it will take them hardly 10 minutes to hack your account. There are, like we have this application for our convenience. There are applications developed by hackers to hack all these digital payment applications. So make sure you will have the password which will not be easily decoded. Then delete your browsing history and cookies after logout. Be sure that you will log out, and monthly checking, keep a track of your payments and receipts carefully. Sometimes what happens, we consider that we have received payment on digital app and it is already included in our bank account. So sometimes we don't get notification for small transactions. By using all these applications, You can make a payment of 1 rupees also. So you get a notification from bank accounts if your payment is more than 1,000 rupees. So make sure that you will keep a track of your transactions. Do not disclose any of your personal information, such as credit card number, PIN, or debit card number, or your password. And never keep your browser open if you are not using. Download or never download or open files from strangers, and you should never tell your ID and password in email. One more incidents, if one more short incidents I will share you. Like many a times we feel that Google is there, then we don't have to worry. So whenever we want to search anything, we just Google it, and we get, in fact, if we want a phone number, then also we just Google it and we get the phone number. So what happened, there was a group of friends. So one of the friends' mother expired. So all friends went there to offer the condolences. And in that process, when they were just seated there, the friend, one of their friend thought that I will book the hall for prayer ceremony. So she just Googled, and the nearby halls. So she got one Gurudwara's address. So she just took address and phone number. So from that, from Google, okay, I'm talking about their official website. So she just take a contact number from that website. She called on that number. The another person who received that call, he gave all the information, and he said that you need to just pay 5 rupees for confirmation that you will book this hall on so and so date. So she said she thought that instead of, why should I bother that morning friend for this 5 rupees? I will pay from my end. Then that guy who was there who was presenting him as a representative of that Gurudwara, he said that you will get one link. Just click on that link and pay the 5 rupees. So that lady clicked on that link, and within 15 minutes, that lady lost her 25 lakhs because the number was fake on that digital. So never make a payment through links if you are not sure that this link is authenticate. Like if we are purchasing through Amazon, we get the link from Amazon, so that is authentic link. If you will click on that link, make sure that your payment is authenticate. Okay, so that's it. This is what we have in e-payment solutions. I would like to thank the principal sir and the host and everyone and all the participants for attending this national conference on emerging trends on banking. Is there any doubt?
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to ask all the participants, if you have any doubt, you can write in the chat box. We'll wait for a minute.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Ma'am, can I personally ask a question on e-payments from my side?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. I always think how to decide any best app for e-payments like Google Pay, Phone Pay. How do I compare the apps? How do I differentiate the good and bad qualities of the app?
Okay, so from my personal experience, I will suggest you, sir, if you don't want a different apps, like if you feel that you are using all this, you can use all this application wisely. So as far as me is concerned, I am using my bank account application only. So through bank account, we can make all this, even this BHIM-app I have just discussed that BHIM-app is also connected to that app. Any application you can decide, make sure that you will follow the safety measures. All these applications are good. Like GPay is very convenient. Within fraction of second, you just need to click on you just need to your PIN and the payment is done. And immediately the same process is followed by the payment. The person who is going to make a payment to you. So within a fraction of second, you can receive the payment. So every applications are good. But one safety measure is there. If, for instance, the senior citizens are there, their whole life savings are there in the bank account. So I will suggest they should not link that main account to all these applications, because first of all, they are not digitally skilled people. So it may be possible that they will lose all their money. And this has happened in this pandemic scenario. Major scam was happened with this senior citizens only. So you can, all these applications are good. Just you should focus on the pros and cons, and
Okay,
you
ma'am.
can enjoy.
I will quickly delink my account from GPay, where I have more money than other account after this conference. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I think nobody has any doubt because of your excellent lecture. And
Thank you,
I
sir.
thank you very much for joining our conference and enlightening participants with your words and your presentation. And I thank you on behalf of Nilamrani College and Principal Sir and myself also, and on behalf of all the participants. Thank you
sir.
very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay.
May I leave now?
Yes, you can leave, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, before moving forward, I would like to review all the research papers, not all, but some of the chosen research papers from my side. I have selected a few research papers for review, and I will quickly take a look at all the research papers, conclusions and findings. What are their major findings and what are their conclusions? All the things I will mention here. The first research paper, before starting the review of research paper, I would like to mention the name of the journal in which our conference research papers are published. It is the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Research and Technology with impact factor of 6.3. And the research papers included in this particular journal are: first one is Microfinance Banking, a boon for self-help groups. It is published by Dr. Jitendra Aherkar. The main finding and main conclusion of the research paper is the scheme of microfinance has been found as an effective instrument for lifting the poor above the level of poverty by providing them increased self-employment opportunities and making them credit worthy. So this is the important finding by Dr. Jitendra Aherkar. And second one is women empowerment in financial vision with reference to women working in the informal sector of the Thane district of Maharashtra. It is published by Dr. Pramila D'Souza. And the main finding of the research paper is she states that according to her research, the financial growth of women in every household can definitely reduce a great extent of domestic violence at home. So as per her research, there is a correlation between the domestic violence happening against women and their independency, financial independency. So it is clear that if every woman becomes financially independent and she is not dependent on her partner or children's, she does not have to tolerate or bear any violence against her. She can always fight and she can always live by herself. So financial growth and financial inclusion helps women empower themselves and avoid or stop the violence happening against them in the society. So next research paper is Social Banking, Inclusive and Sustainable Approach, which is published by Dr. Rajesh Harichandra Mohite. And the main findings of the research are, he states that only an opening account cannot prove the hypothesis of financial inclusion. He states that there have to be saving, investments, use of accounts comprehensively. So just opening a bank account will not increase the financial growth, will not grow the financial system. He states that in India, the bill market is still not developed and it is still underdeveloped. The social banking may improve the monetary base and support economic growth and development. So there is a long way to go in our financial system growth and development. We are still in the process of development and we are not yet developed. The last one, which I had chosen from the many of the research papers, is NABARD self-help groups enabling through microfinance and bank linkage program, a study on self-help groups in Telangana state, which is published by Arfat Jahan. The main findings and conclusions of the research paper are, RRBs are holding higher savings as compared to commercial banks and cooperative banks. And second one is, average loan outstanding per self-help group for cooperative banks have more average loan outstanding than commercial bank and regional rural bank. So these are his findings, and with this review of the research paper, I will move forward to the next session of validative speech, which will be conducted by Dr. Shraddha Anil Kumar. And I will quickly introduce herself. Dr. Shraddha Anil Kumar is the principal of Dayanand Arya Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. And I would like to request Dr. Shraddha Anil Kumar ma'am to kindly start the valedictory speech of today's conference. Ma'am, I will quickly make you co-host. If you're not, please wait for a few seconds. Shraddha ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Arvind Shankaran, global expertise in retail banking, said, "We are witnessing the creative destructions of financial services, rearranging itself around the consumers who does this in the most relevant, exciting way using data and digital wins." Good morning to all dignitaries. First of all, I congratulate organizers for organizing webinar on such a relevant topic, emerging trends in the banking sector. It is the need of the hour. And I want to thank Dr. Jitendra Aherkar, most energetic and a kind-hearted person, a principal of BL Amnali College, for giving me opportunity to share my views. Now, we are at the end of the part of a webinar is a valedictory. Today, resource person, Professor Sonali Chiklikar, express all the details and also explain how to we must more careful as so many crimes are happening in a digital era. With the rapid growth of digital technology, it becomes imperative for banking and financial services in India to keep up with the changes and innovate digital solutions, tech-savvy customers. To stay competitive, it is necessary for the banking and financial industries to take the leap on the digital bank wagon. It all begins from 1980, the use of it to perform basic functions, then core banking solution were adopted in 1990. During the time of liberalization, banking sectors open for private and international. With adopting new technologies, the shift from conventional to convenience banking is incredible. Modern trends in banking system make it easier, simpler, paperless, signatureless, and branchless with the various features like IMPS, immediate payment service, RTGS, real-time gross settlement, NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer, online banking, telebanking. Digitization has creates the comfort of anywhere and anytime banking. Mobile banking is the one of most dominant current trends in banking system. Other trades, UPI, this system makes fund transfer available 24 hours, 365 days. In future, with the help of UPI, making is expected to become more open. Blockchain is the new kind of the block and the latest buzzwords. Other trends, artificial intelligence, robots, fintech companies have become an important part of the sector. Digital only banking. It is a recent trend in India financial system and cannot be ignored. Cloud banking, biometrics, wearable with smartwatch technology is aiming to provide more control and easy access to the data. It is anticipated to be the future retail banking trends by providing major banking services with just a click on a user-friendly interface on their wearable devices. These are some of the recent trends in the banking of financial sectors of India, and all these new technologies are predicted to reshape the industry of business and money. The future is going to bring upon a revolution of sort with the historic changes in traditional model. The massive shift in the landscape has few challenges. Nonetheless, the customers are open to banking innovations, and the government is showing great support with the scheme like Jan Dhan Yojana, which aim at providing a bank account to every citizen. To adopt new technology in order to stay relevant in the race. And today's webinar, definitely a successful webinar, which helped others to aware. I again congratulate the organizers and thanks for giving me this opportunity. Stay safe. Say thank you, everyone. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your excellent and remarkable valedictory speech that I heard and our participants heard. And I would like to thank all the resource persons and all the participants for joining the meeting, today's meeting, and for making this conference very useful and very sophisticated. I would like to thank all the participants and resource persons and also Shraddha ma'am for your valedictory speech. Again, thank you very much. And now, before going off, before leaving the meeting, I would like to tell all the participants to please fill up the feedback link that I will put here. And this link, if you fill up it and submit it, you will receive your certificate. Otherwise, you will not be able to receive the certificate for publication and joining the conference. All the researchers, please do not forget to fill the link given in the chat box. Can everyone see the link and go to the link? And don't go offline. Do not leave the meeting unless you submit the form, because it is very essential to receive the certificate. Those who fill up the form, submit the form, can leave the meeting one by one. Shraddha ma'am, you can leave, and thank you once again. Shraddha ma'am, am I audible to you?
Can we close down? Dimesh sir, you are there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have seen the brochure. We had already mentioned that we are giving a soft copy of the journal, not the hard copy.
Sir, it was mentioned that if you want the hard copy, you have to pay 500 rupees for that.
Yeah. Then you contact us or you write a mail on that. So the concerned person will talk to you.
I have already sent the mail for the payment
Okay.
which was done.
We are in the process. It will take time. We will do it.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So we will close down this session because we will have a hybrid mode conference also with our students after this. So thank you once again and over to you.